Let us begin with a story entitled The Hero, written by one of India's most famous writers and novelists, R.K. Narayan. In a quiet little town lived a boy named Swami. Every night, he would sleep beside his grandmother, listening to her gentle bedtime stories. It was his comfort zone. But one day, his father had a challenge for him. You are getting older. A boy like you should sleep alone. Swami was shocked. He protested, begged, and even tried to fake a stomachache. But his father stood firm. So that night, Swami carried his blanket to his father's office room and lay down all alone. It was cold. It was dark. Every little sound made his imagination go wild. He hid under the blanket and wished he were back with his grandmother. Suddenly, he heard a sound. Footsteps. A shadow moved. Panicking, Swami jumped up, screamed, and grabbed at the shadow. And unbelievably, he caught a real burglar. By morning, Swami was a town hero. Everyone praised him. But deep inside, Swami just wanted to go back to sleeping beside his grandmother. Now try to answer these questions. Write your answers in the comments. What event caused a big change in Swami's life? Why do you think Swami's father wanted him to sleep alone? And if you were Swami, would you understand the lesson your father was trying to teach? How does that lesson connect to the story's ending? But here's a more important question. What made the story so clear, smooth, and meaningful? That is our lesson for today. We will dive into analyzing literary texts through organic unity. Organic unity means all the parts of a story, its characters, setting, conflict, plot, and theme work together as a whole. Kapag sinabi nating organic unity, ibig sabihin lahat ng bahagi or parts ng kwento ay magkakaugnay. Wala ni isa ang kalat o wala sa lugar. Para siyang machine. If one part breaks, it stops working. Or a puzzle. If one piece is missing, the picture isn't complete. So let us go back to the story and look at how the parts connect. First, character. Can you remember our lesson video about character and its types? Pero just to refresh, a character is a person, animal, or being in a story. He or she is the one who does the actions, face the problems, and helps move the story forward. In the story The Hero, Swami is the main character. He faces a challenge from his father and becomes the hero by the end. So, sa start ng kwento, natutunan natin that Swami is a young, nervous boy. Then, as the story progresses, nalaman din natin na he prefers sleeping beside his grandmother. And he shows fear but also surprise courage. Next, setting. The setting is the time and place where the story happens. It helps us imagine where the characters are and when the events take place. So in the story, the setting includes a quiet little town, his grandmother's room, and his father's office at night, which feels cold, dark, and unfamiliar. Now, these descriptions of the setting show that Swami is uncomfortable and scared. The setting helps increase the tension. We feel the fear and danger Swami feels. Because the place is dark and unfamiliar, it becomes believable that Swami would panic, imagine things, and even react to a burglar the way he did. In short, the setting creates the mood of fear and suspense. It helps us understand why Swami is so nervous. And it builds up to the important event when he catches the burglar. Then, conflict. Meron ulit tayong lesson video about dito and its types, so better check it out again. But to define it one more time, conflict is the problem or struggle in a story. It is what the main character has to face, solve, or overcome. Swami's conflict is when his father tells him to sleep alone. He is caught between fear and expectation. He feels scared and doesn't want to do it, but he is forced to face his fear. Remember, conflict starts the action of the story. It helps us understand Swami's emotions, especially his fear and hesitation. It leads to the climax where he accidentally catches a burglar. Through the conflict, we see Swami change and grow, even if he still wants to sleep with his grandmother. Fourth, plot, another story element that we have already studied. The plot is the sequence of events in a story. What happens first, next, and last. It shows how the character deals with the problem from beginning to end. Or ito yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga pangyayari or events sa story mula simula, gitna, hanggang wakas. So sa beginning ng ating kwento, Swami loves sleeping beside his grandmother. Then, sa middle part, we learned that his father tells him to sleep alone. He feels scared. Nang dumating na sa climax, Swami hears something and catches a burglar by accident. And syempre, yung ending, everyone calls him a hero, but he still wants to sleep with his grandmother. The plot organizes the events so we can understand the flow of the story. It helps us see how Swami changes through the challenges he faces. And every part of the plot is connected, showing how the conflict, setting, and characters work together. The last is theme. The theme is the main message or lesson of the story. It is what the story wants us to think about or learn in real life. O sa Tagalog, ang theme o paksa ay ang pangunahing mensahe o aral ng kwento. So in the story, The Hero, the possible themes include facing your fears can lead to surprising results. Pwede rin naman na growing up means doing things even if you are afraid. Or pwede din na courage is not the absence of fear, but acting despite it. Now, the theme gives meaning to what happened to Swami. It helps us connect the story to real life, like being brave even if we feel scared. And all parts of the story, character, setting, conflict, and plot work together to show the theme clearly. This is what we call organic unity. Now, here are some fish tips for analyzing a literary text using organic unity. First, know the main character. Who is the story really about? Next, look at the setting. Where and when does it happen? Does the place or time affect the mood or the actions? Next, find the problem or conflict. What challenge does the character face? Fourth, trace the plot. What happens in the beginning, middle, climax, and end? Fifth, discover the theme. What lesson or message can we learn from the story? And last, connect everything. Do all parts support the theme? Does the story feel complete? Before we end the lesson video, let us review. Organic unity means all parts of the story, character, setting, conflict, plot, and theme work together to create one meaningful whole. Or sa Tagalog, ang organic unity ay kapag ang bawat bahagi ng kwento ay magkakaugnay. Lahat tumutulong para maiparating ang mensahe. And we saw that clearly in The Hero by R.K. Narayan. Nice work today, class! Natapos na naman natin ang isang lesson na siguradong makakatulong sa pag-level up nyo sa school, life, and the future. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell para lagi kayong updated sa bago nating lessons. Pwede nyo ring i-share sa mga classmates and friends nyo para sabay-sabay kayong mag-level up. See you next time dito sa Learning is Easy with Teacher Fish.